We pretty much found ourselves here in Gibraltar, and this has been our home. So any change in Brexit, the EU legislation is not going to affect that at all. We're fully committed to that. We've spoken to the government in the last couple of days and reaffirmed that view. We see this as possibly an opportunity. If some other companies choose to leave, then we have certainly a lot of open positions for that. Clearly, it looks like we might have to find a license in the EU somewhere else, but that doesn't mean to say our main base doesn't remain here. We're absolutely committed to keep our main base here, and even though we'll probably have to find a license in another EU jurisdiction.
I'm sure that's music to many people's ears who are fearing that there might be, an exodus of companies like yours in the event of a Brexit vote. What makes Gibraltar a good base?
Well, I think we've started here, so our whole of our infrastructure's here. The government have always been very good, and the gaming authority have been very good to us here. I think it's a great regime, and as you know, a lot of the blue chip companies have chosen Gibraltar as their base. There's a great centre of excellence here in gaming now. It's easiest to recruit people here. Clearly, I can't speak for other companies, but if they were to choose to leave, that might change. But we're very happy here, and we see, other than the licence issue with passporting our goods into the EU, which we need to find a solution for, and I'm sure we will, we think everything is set up here for us in Gibraltar, so there's absolutely no need for us to leave at all.
And although you can't speak for other companies in the industry, what's the feeling that you get from having spoken to your colleagues?
I don't know. It's too early days, really. I think some other companies have come from, say, the UK to here to establish international businesses here. I say we're different. We started here. This is our home. The UK is not a major market for us. It's probably our third or fourth largest market. Other European markets, ironically, are more important. So I could see potentially other UK-facing gaming companies potentially downsizing a little bit or maybe even leaving. And I've heard some rumours, but it's not for me really to comment on that. But so just reaffirm our commitment. This is our home. This is where we started. This is where our core infrastructure is. There's no real need for us to move anywhere else, save for but perhaps complying with local legislation in whichever territory we get to go to for our EU licence.
What potential role might problems or delays to the frontier fluidity have in respect of your workforce?
That is probably the single biggest worry we have right now. Clearly there's going to be months, even perhaps years of uncertainty in terms of how the exit from the EU, if it comes, will come about. But right now it's getting our people into work on a daily basis. I think we have a majority, certainly, maybe even up to about 90% of our employees are currently living in Spain. And not being able to get them in the office on a regular basis, on a timely basis, would certainly be of concern. I personally am not too worried. I don't think that will happen. I think our neighbours across the border will be grown up about it. I think it's more likely to be influenced by local events, as we've seen in the past, fishing boat incursions or whatever. So I'm pretty optimistic that there won't be a problem, but clearly I don't know, and that is our biggest problem. We have contingency plans in place for that, and we're hopeful that won't be needed.